All right. So I don't know if you know who Brian Mulroney is if you're watching this, if you're an American. He was a prime minister in Canada. If you don't know who he is, like that's kind of sad. I pretty much know all your damn presidents, especially ones in the last like 50 years. So you should know all of our prime ministers up here in your cousins to the north, the state you haven't taken control of yet. I'm going to read this article here. This is from the New York Times, so about as dumpster fire as you can get. But here we go. So Brian Mulroney, Prime Minister who led Canada to NAFTA, dies at 84. He signed the historic free trade agreement with the United States and Mexico, but was shadowed by scandal. I love how they say that. All right. Brian Mulroney, Canada's 18th Prime Minister, whose statesmanship on what he called great causes from free trade and acid rain in North America to the overthrow of apartheid in South Africa gave way to accusations of financial misdoing and influence peddling after he left office. What a weird sentence, but whatever. He died on Thursday in Palm Beach, Florida, and he was 84. Okay. That whole sentence was kind of a cluster F. But anyways, it is the New York Times. A spokesman for his daughter, Caroline Mulroney, a cabinet minister in Ontario's progressive conservative government, said Mr. Mulroney died in hospital after a fall at his home in Palm Beach. He died peacefully surrounded by family. So, wow, he fell. Ugh, that's brutal. You got to be kind of feeble. I mean, 84 is whatever. 84 is 84. He must have had a pretty bad fall. That's pretty bad. I don't want to die from falling. I'd rather just die in my sleep and then piss and shit myself. That seems more legit. Born in a blue-collar family in northeastern Quebec, Mr. Mulroney transcended his small-town roots to become a prosperous lawyer and business executive before seeking and attaining high office as a conservative, rising to prime minister in 1984. He won re-election by convincing margin in 1988, and I guess he was in power till 93. So, anyways. Whatever. I'm not going to read the rest of this. I'll sum it up for you, just for anybody watching. He ushered Canada into NAFTA, which was a big thing at the time. Very good for the economy. He was a good prime minister for the economy coming out of the 80s that were a little rough. So he kind of brought Canada back out, but he was kind of mired in some scandal as far as misappropriation of funds, things like that. Which is funny because it seems like that's what happens with all of our prime ministers, current one not excluded. He's probably the worst ever, and doesn't seem like there's any real problem with that. Yeah, in the comment, Joe, I got a comment on this one. I just read it. Yeah, Justin Castro. Yeah, there's the big joke going, if you haven't heard this, about our current prime minister being the son of Fidel Castro. So look it up if you don't know. It's quite funny. So I think there's some merit in that one. But bring it back to Mr. Mulroney. He was he was kind of before my time. I was alive, but I wasn't really aware. But he did some things. He did some good stuff, I guess, and he did some bad stuff, and that seems to be what they all do. So rest in peace, Mr. Mulroney. A little tip of the cap to you. Let that be a lesson. If you're 84, don't fall, because you may die.